Good morning, class.
Good morning, Miss Stinson.
Oh, I'm so glad everyone's here today. Today we're going to be learning about order of operations. But to start, I'm going to need a volunteer. Jimmy, come on up. All right, what we're going to do is we're both going to put on shoes and socks, and then we're going to compare how we did it. Go ahead. Awesome job. All right, now I'm going to do it. That did not work out so well. So what happened there, Jimmy? What was the difference between how you put your shoe on and how I put my shoe on?
Miss Stinson, you did it out of order. You have to first put your sock on, then your shoe, and then you tie your shoe.
Exactly. And it's the same thing when it comes to math. We have to follow a certain order in order to get the right answer. So if you'll take a look, these problems, the same problem, but as I solve it, I'm going to solve it in two different ways. And we'll see what happens. So over here, if I do 3 plus 4 first, I get 7. And then I'm going to multiply it by 2, and I get 14. Over here, if I do the multiplication first, I get 8. And then I'm going to add 3 to it, and I get 11. Uh-oh, two different answers. So now we have to figure out which one is correct. So to determine which answer is correct, we have to look at our order of operations. Long ago, mathematicians had the same issue. They had the same problem, but two different answers. So they came up with an order that we now follow so that we come up with the right answer. So we've got parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. P-E-M-D-A-S, PEMDAS, is one way to remember it. So what we have to do when we're solving problems is go in this order. So you'll see we have to do parentheses before we can do these other things. If we look at our problem here, we had addition and multiplication. So if we look back up here, we know we have to do multiplication before we can do addition. So that means this answer of 11 is correct because we did multiplication first, and then we did addition, and we got our 11. So now I want all of you as a class to come up with a word for each letter and come up with a phrase so that we can remember P-E-M-D-A-S. Anybody have any ideas? Jimmy.
Yes. Please email my dad a shark.
Perfect. Please email my dad a shark. P-E-M-D-A-S. And I'll go ahead and post that on the board so we can all remember it.
Yes.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to do an example together, and you're going to walk me through each step, and then you'll try one on your own, and then we'll go over it as a class. So, Jimmy, can you tell me what kind of operations do we have in this first example?
Subtraction, addition, and multiplication.
Good, and one more.
Parentheses.
Parentheses, good. So what do we have to do first? Please email my dad a shark. What is the first thing we have to do?
Parentheses.
Parentheses, so we're first going to do whatever's inside the parentheses. So 4 plus 5 is?
9.
9. And now what I find really helpful is when we rewrite the problem down here so that we're knowing what operations we have left. So now we've got subtraction and multiplication. What comes next?
Please email my dad. Multiplication.
Multiplication. So we're going to do 9 times 2, which is?
18.
18. Again, I'm going to bring this down here. 20 minus 18 is
2.
2. Okay. All right. Any questions on this one? So now I want you to try this problem on your own, and then we'll go over it as a class. All right. Do I have a volunteer who wants to walk me through how you solve this problem? Jimmy!
So I started with please email, so exponents, so the 2 to the power of 2 is 4.
Good.
And then I brought it all the other stuff back down.
Good.
And then please email my dad, which is multiplication, so multiply the 5 and the 4 to 20, and bring the 6 down. And then subtraction equals 14.
Awesome job, you got it. All right, so now what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have everyone practice some problems on their own, and I'll be walking around and helping, and if you have questions, raise your hand, and we will come back together in a little bit.